friends, and welcome to part 7 of our look at Freezerworks Pinnacle. Last time we finally received some data for our study and entered it into Freezerworks through the form of visit kits. But what if instead of getting whole kits from our clinic, we received collections of loose samples or aliquots for a number of participants and a variety of visits? Well, the process remains largely the same. If the data is pre-generated, and the samples or aliquots all still have the labels we printed when creating kits, we can get to scanning. So, open Inventory Management, Receive Samples for Study. Then let's select Receive Pre-Generated Samples again. And this time around, let's select Scan Samples. You'll come to the Receive Samples form. It looks a lot like the Receive Visits form, only this time you'll be able to use a scan field of your choosing, so long as it's a unique samples field, of course. Select the field that is on your sample labels and start scanning. As you scan the samples, they'll appear in the second box with their associated study, visit, and participant study ID, as well as any field data set during its modeling. As you may remember from the last video, if these samples were pre-generated agnostically, we'd have to enter the participant study ID ourselves. If you scan a sample that has already been received by the system, you'll be alerted as such. The record will be grayed out, and the status will be set to previously received, so that no duplicate record gets made. When samples are added, any aliquots that are expected to be created from said samples will appear in the bottom list box. If, for any reason, you cannot create an aliquot from the sample, say if there isn't enough of the sample, you'll check off the aliquots create box. If you check off any aliquots, you'll be asked for a discrepancy reason upon completion. You'll also notice that the aliquots to create counter decreases as you check off aliquots. Anyways, when you're done scanning samples and your aliquots look good, click Continue. The order test form will appear like last time. If there are any tests you do not want to order, check them off now, then click Continue again. I'll provide my discrepancy reason. The program then asks me if I'd like to receive some more samples or not. Let's receive some more. Only this time, let's scan aliquots. And here is the Receive Aliquots form. Like the other Receive forms, only a little simpler. Again, you'll select your scan field, the field on the aliquot labels you're going to scan. This time, the drop-down will be filled with all unique aliquot fields in your database. Let's select Unique Aliquot ID, get our vials out, and start scanning. As you scan aliquots, they will appear in the list box with their associated study, visit, and participant study ID. You will have to enter this yourself, of course, if the aliquots were pre-generated agnostically. The aliquots will also have any field data that was set during modeling. When you're done scanning vials, click Continue. You'll be presented with a list of tests that are to be ordered based on what was received. Check off any you don't want ordered, and click Continue. And again, the program asks if we'd like to continue receiving. I'll click No this time, so we can take a look at what we've received so far. So, according to the inventory list view, we received samples for 2 different studies, for 3 different patients, and for 6 different visits. We received a total of 9 samples, 29 aliquots, and we ordered 8 tests. If I open up a visit, I can compare what was received with what was modeled and actually expected for the visit, as well as fill in the visit date, length of visit, and site, which are unable to be completed when receiving samples or aliquots. Well, that does it for today's video. Join us next time when we move on from pre-generated data and go over receiving new samples. Thanks as always for watching, and see you next time.